Hey guys, welcome to See or Not to See, and today we're going to be talking about Mortal Kombat. So, going into this movie, I kept my expectations kind of low, not because video game movies tend to be bad, as showcased in our Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation commentaries, which you should totally go watch, but because this movie was directed by Simon McQuoid, whose previous directing credits include nothing. It was also being made on a budget of $50 million, which isn't a whole lot compared to how much other blockbuster movies get made for these days. So I kept my expectations reasonable because I went in with the mindset that this is a low-budget, first-time director movie, and didn't even think of the previous two movies when watching it. And I have to say that it being a smaller movie really works to the advantage of this film, and that it came out surprisingly well. But one thing that holds it back from being great is the writing. This leads us into the bad things. The story for this movie could have been so much better. You can tell just by watching it that this movie needed a couple of rewrites. We know nothing about the villains, and some of the coolest characters in the franchise are just one and dones. They're completely sidelined. And it also relies on you heavily knowing the Mortal Kombat lore going into it. It feels like it pulls the same stuff the DCEU did with never explaining anything for the casual viewer. If I didn't know anything about Mortal Kombat before watching this, I would be lost. And the character that's supposed to be our window into this world, Cole Young, isn't written well enough to be able to do that and ends up dragging the movie down. The thing that really saves this movie is the cast. When you have a script with not a whole lot of substance to it, one thing you can do to make up for that is let your actors let loose and have fun with the roles. And it seems like that's what they did with this movie, because their performances, while not amazing, save a lot of this movie. Some of the highlights for this are Joss Lasson as Kano, Joe Talsum as Sub-Zero, and Haruyuki Sanada as Scorpion. Even Louis Tan as Cole Young did a good job despite his character not being written all that well. Also, the fights in this movie, give or take for a few, were a lot of fun and pretty well choreographed. I just wish we got to see more of them. And the fatalities were as brutal as can be, but again, we just didn't get to see enough of them. Another thing that they did really well is the costumes. Not one character design in this movie looks bad. They all look great. One last thing I'll mention before we wrap this up is how many practical sets there are. I don't know if this is because they had a lower budget or not, but the sets look good. It's just nice seeing actual on-location shots and not a bunch of overused CGI green screens. It really lends to the film. Despite its flaws, I enjoyed Mortal Kombat. It's definitely a turn-your-brain-off type movie, and it lays the groundwork for a lot of potential if they choose to do a sequel. That's why I'm giving Mortal Kombat a 2C, because it's dumb fun. So anyways guys, that's it for me. As always, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit subscribe to help us reach 100 subscribers. Check out our website and all the social media. It's in the links below. And remember, we waste our money so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, guys.
Reporting live from the third planet, from the black hole. It's the astro floating through the astral plane. I maintain this wisdom, I'm the vassal. Baby, I'm just burying these rappers like a time capsule. Let my mind travel through dimensions, check this pimping. I'm just trying to find a piece like Olamar.